Candace Owens has been fired. It's not being called a firing. It's, you know, she's leaving, she's being let go, whatever else, but it's pretty clear that she's being fired, or at the very least, she's been ousted from the org. The reason being, I assume, because she's a fucking Nazi. Candace Owens has defended Hitler, defended Kanye West when he was doing his death con to Jews bit. You know, she immediately was critical of Israel after October 7th, which under most conditions would be based, but we should all know what it means when a far-right political pundit starts being critical of Israel, you know? I actually learned something by speed reading this article before stream started. Take a look at this, okay? Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their friendship. The rumors are true. Daily Wire and Owens did not immediately respond to requests for additional comment. And Shapiro had often come to the defense of Owens' rhetoric, but following the October 7th Hamas-led attack in Israel, the pair began a very public battle that at one point featured the Daily Wire's co-founder daring the star podcaster, that's Candace Owens that he's referring to here, to quit. The feud began last November when Owens tweeted, "No government anywhere has a right to commit a genocide." Wow, can't believe that Candace Owens said genocide before AOC did. While she did not specifically mention the state of Israel, her remarks were widely condemned by our fellow conservatives. Shapiro publicly called Owens' behavior disgraceful and chided her faux sophistication on the Israel-Hamas conflict. Their feud became even more personal. Owens posted to Twitter a series of Bible verses suggesting you cannot serve both God and money. So, guys, just on the red flag scale, if far-right political commentators start citing the Bible or Christianity to accuse Jewish people of prioritizing money over morality, this should light up a few alarm lights in your head, you know, just maybe, possibly. Now, does Ben Shapiro care more about money than being morally correct? Yes, yeah. And that's why, you know, it's a dog whistle, right? That's the whole point, you know? Like, that's the reason why it works conceptually. But you're falling in line with tropes here. That pointed remark was viewed by many as a not-so-subtle use of the anti-Semitic dual loyalty trope against Shapiro, who responded, "Candace, if you feel taking money from the Daily Wire somehow comes between you and God, by all means quit." Owens hit back that Shapiro was utterly out of line and acting unprofessional and emotionally unhinged for a week now. Owens complained about Ben Shapiro to Tucker Carlson. I remember seeing that on stream. But this I had not seen. Owens' rhetoric about Jewish people appeared to reach a new low this week when she liked a social media post asking conservative rabbi Shmuley Botiach whether he is drunk on Christian blood again, an overt reference to blood libel. So that's not even a dog whistle, you know. That's pretty straightforward, you know. That's right there, you know. That's not a dog whistle. That's about as direct as it gets. That's just straightforwardly what a Nazi would say when talking about Jews. No difference in language would be used. It would be exactly the same. That is just what they say. Yeah, not a dog whistle, more of a bullhorn or a foghorn from like a big boat. So that's wild. I didn't see that. I'm surprised that I didn't. I guess that slipped me by. Days earlier, Owens dabbled in other anti-Semitic tropes by suggesting there's a Jewish gang in Hollywood. Right. You know, Candace Owens is a shameless grifter. I mean, one of the clearest examples of her grift is that she's sort of like built her punditry on the claim that she hasn't experienced discrimination when she has literally filed lawsuits for racial discrimination in the past before becoming a conservative pundit. We know that she's a grifter, but it is in fact possible for a person to be a grifter and sincerely a Nazi. And that's in part because sometimes people lie and sometimes they don't. That's because, you know, it's possible to have sets of beliefs that you actually do adhere to, but then other ones you'll kind of shift around. It's possible for a person to grift into a somewhat sincere position that they'll like hold to, you know. And also, because Nazism is so often overtly anti-empiricist, it is possible to simultaneously grift on and believe something, you know? This is really common with a specific subset of 4chan Nazi, where they will believe every crazy conspiracy theory and lunatic belief that you've ever heard of. Maybe. You know, they'll say those things, and whether or not they actually believe it seems to be more a matter of how effectively you can make them seem ridiculous for believing in it, you know? It's more a matter of, like, whether it's more emotionally satisfying for it to be an insincere or a sincere belief, and it kind of shifts depending on the circumstances. You know, that kind of person who you could get to disavow a belief, but then just ends up believing that thing again in the future, right? Until it gets like pushed back against again. It's a weird kind of thing. I don't know. The belief that everybody believes in the value of truth is very liberal, I think. Very liberal bias. Here's her tweet. Check the replies. They're hilarious. Her tweet to what? Ah, yes. The rumors are true. I am finally free. Go support my work over here. So Candace Owens probably isn't going to get as much exposure now that she's out from Daily Wire because deplatforming works. But I anticipate a very hard right shift with her content. You know, like considering what she was let go for. You know what she wants to say. I imagine she's going to shift in that direction. Rate the drip. Is this Teddy Fresh? Don't know if they would like her using their merch. So I anticipate her getting like a Twitter exclusive show supported by Elon any day now, you know? I said this before though, didn't I? You didn't look at the replies? I didn't care to. You know, I've said this for a while now. The big splitting up point for the Daily Wire was, at least to some extent, going to be October 7th because a lot of the Daily Wire is just Nazi shit, you know? Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles also have a toe dipped pretty heavily in that side of things. Ben Shapiro doesn't. I mean, he's a fascist, of course, and fascists agree with Nazis on a lot, but, you know, he's not a Nazi. And that is, you know, going to be a large split. And I guess to an extent it has been now. TMZ got some insider leaks, nothing too surprising. Fired over alleged anti-Semitism. That's shocking. The last straw for the Daily Wire was her March 8 appearance on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Wait, when a woman goes on the Fresh and Fit podcast, isn't their job just to get, like, ogled and objectified? Were they just telling her she had nice tits? What do you do as a woman on the Fresh and Fit podcast? Is it because she's also a black Nazi that they, like, laid it off and they just talked about Jews or Hollywood for a while? Well, it was the split, the Pillar Man. I have to admit, I did expect Ben Shapiro to leave before Candace, but I guess he's holding on strong for now. Ben Shapiro does have more control over Daily Wire than she does. I can't cover Fresh and Fit. They DMCA strike like a motherfucker. They're super vindictive. If they if they don't like you or don't like your coverage, they'll DMCA strike you. Isn't DW basically Ben's? Well, all conservative political groups are basically like a swarm of dark money. But yeah, Ben Shapiro does have a lot of control over it. Yeah, he's one of the co-founders. Candace Owens says Ice Spice fart single sets American society back. Okay. Ice Spice the rapper, yes. Who the f is Ice Spice? Only one of the hottest bitches in the market. Are you kidding me? You kidding me right now? You don't know who Ice Spice is? She's gorgeous. Her music is mid, though. I don't remember any of her music. I don't listen to music. How should I know? You know, whatever.